Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of the Gulf Coast Growth Show. I'm Chad Burke, President and CEO of the Economic Alliance Houston Port Region, and just blessed and excited to have with us today Harris County Precinct 2 Commissioner Adrian Garcia, our partner and good friend. We want to jump in and do a quick kind of almost year in. We're getting close to the holidays, year in report out of all of the great things that are going on. So, Commissioner, welcome to the Growth Show, and thank you for taking time to do this.
No, absolutely, Chad. Great to be with you, and to your audience, an early happy Thanksgiving and safe holidays to you and your families.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's a great time of year, and I'm looking forward to a little Thanksgiving vacation next week. So you are too, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's jump in. As I mentioned, I want to talk about really just a lot of good fronts on things that are happening in Precinct 2, and then really some of the neat ways that we get to work together. But I am always kind of, if they put something on my gravestone, it's going to be he was an infrastructure champion. So you work in that area so well and so strong for Precinct 2. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about infrastructure projects, and there are multiple different kinds going on, obviously, in Precinct 2. But I wanted to let you highlight some of the projects that you have been able to kind of champion and work on and lead in Precinct 2.
Good deal. Well, Chad, look, I hope that will be a part of the heading on my tombstone, because at the end of the day, infrastructure is all about the economy. It's all about keeping our families safe. It's about ensuring that we continue to grow in an effective and efficient way, and that the community is able to know that their investments are going to be protected, whether commercial property or residential property. And so, as an example, I want to thank the public who helped us pass the recent flood control Prop A measure. That's going to allow us about 150 million thereabout. Annually more, so that we can invest it into the infrastructure maintenance part of our program. Because, as I always tell people, as a son of an auto mechanic, when you buy a brand new car, you do not drive it without changing the oil. You don't drive it with the same tires until they fall off, but you do maintenance on it so that you can get maximum value and life out of that infrastructure. And that's exactly what the citizens are going to allow us to do. At present, prior to the measure, we were at about a 267-year maintenance cycle, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so now,
in essence, that means you get around to completing all the maintenance every 267 years instead of something that is more kind of industry standard, which I know, based on our presentation from Dr. Peterson.
Peterson.
Yeah. Dr. Peterson did a great job of illustrating that to our board and members in a presentation prior to the election. And that was just staggering, right? That's a staggering statistic. And this will allow us to expedite, to close that gap between maintenance coming around to each part of the flood mitigation system, basically, that we have. And the point that I made to her, and I think this feeds into kind of your leadership, is that helps us as an economic development group to be competitive. When we invest in our infrastructure, whether it be moving people and products safely through this region or flood mitigation, that it helps us, this region, operate more efficiently and have better quality of life. And that helps us be competitive when we're out there trying to fight for new businesses and new job creation in the region.
Absolutely. I always like to share this fun fact that Jeff Bezos and I went to the same elementary school, although not together. I wish I got to know the guy, but Jeff is a lot of people don't realize that Jeff is a Houston kid. He got his start here. Our teachers helped him to give him the innovative thinking that has enabled him to get to where he's at. And so Jeff comes back every year and still takes the teachers that are still with us out to lunch, because he respects what they enabled him to think about and explore. But Jeff Bezos several years ago was contemplating about a $20 billion distribution center construction project in Harris County and chose not to. He chose not to for two fundamental reasons. The first one was because, you know, he thought about his workforce, and so he wanted to make sure that there was a serious commitment to mass transit, which we weren't there at that time. But most importantly, you know, when you have a distribution center, it cannot become an island when you have rain events or storms or hurricanes. And his concern was that we had not made serious inroads into flood mitigation. And so he chose to invest somewhere else. We don't want to see that ever happen again. And so these measures and Dr. Peterson's leadership at the Harris County Flood Control District is enabling us to give, number one, our residents confidence that their homes won't get flooded again. And we saw that with Hurricane Beryl, where less than 20 structures were reported to have received flood damage. In comparison to 2015, when we had the Memorial Day and the Tax Day flood, the number of structures reported then under the same type of rain event was 3,000. So the work that we're doing is working, but we have to invest in the maintenance of it to ensure that it continues to work and continues to work effectively. So thank you to the public for that. And that's a major, major thing. I helped to lead the campaign on it, but I was so proud to work with Commissioner Ramsey, who actually started the conversation about where we were at. And then Commissioner Briones constructed the motion, I seconded it, and then we ended up having a unanimous vote on this measure. So very, very proud of the work that we've done in that regard. But also, you know, look, Precinct 2, Chad, you know this better than most. We are the home to the Port of Houston, the economic juggernaut for the country. And we have to continue to make sure that it remains relevant in the ever-changing global economy. And that's why I'm so proud to have supported the deepening and widening of the port. I'll get into the Beltway 8 bridge that is nearing completion. But also the fact that we got to make sure that when those mega vessels come into the port with all that more tonnage of product, that we have to get it off those ships onto trucks and get the trucks the heck out of the port and onto our shelves. That's how we fight inflation. And so, you know, I want to make sure that the infrastructure around the port is strong and makes sense, and that we're, you know, coordinated with TxDOT and our other partners. And that's why I'm so proud that we're working on about a $45 million investment on Fairmont Parkway, where we'll be able to take it from 4 lanes to 6 lanes to ensure greater mobility for our freight and for our commuters, to ensure, you know, that our economy in our region, and if not in our state and our nation, continues to grow and be relevant to keep us strong here locally. So very proud of that. And we got
now, and Commissioner, let me just jump in just for a second. I mean, what a great project. And I know exactly where you're talking about. That's from Red Bluff on Fairmont all the way out to 146. There is a section that touches really the Bayport industrial complex there. There are a lot of trucks moving in and out of that need to come out there, hit Fairmont Parkway, get out to 146 and either go to the port itself or make it out to west and north side of town from there where those manufacturing facilities are. That much needed project, you stepped up, your team stepped up and is committed to doing that project. That was a priority for the region, and again, just another really good example of just like the mitigation, the water mitigation, flood mitigation project that y'all work together. Just another great example of really you kind of understanding your district, seeing the needs, and then stepping up and do it. So I'm sorry, I don't want to be a cheerleader, but man, that's
no, I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I just got to tell you, thank you for that. Your team, your engineers, part of our transportation committee, always there at the at the table with a good conversation. They have their finger on the pulse, and that's because of your leadership. So appreciate that, really do.
Oh, thank you. I'm really proud of them, and look, together and with your partnership, I am confident that we're going to ensure that our businesses, because look, we work together to ensure that one of your members had the opportunity to reinvest in their business and grow it and create more jobs and remain strong and relevant and keep their business operations here in Harris County. That's what I want to see happen.
Yeah.
And so that's the commitment I bring to the Alliance and to our region, because the Port of Houston has got to be strong and prosperous so that everybody else can benefit from it.
Very good. Very good. Well, you're doing great things on infrastructure. I wanted to bring up Precinct Together real quickly. What a great organization. Tell us a little bit about some of those programs that you want to highlight, or that are doing great things there for us.
And I appreciate you bringing this up, Chad, because Precinct 2 Together is the nonprofit or foundation, if you will, of this office. And so it helps us raise resources to help both the infrastructure, as we were just talking about, but also, and more importantly, the human infrastructure, like our senior citizens. Precinct 2 Together during the pandemic was absolutely a game changer, and the reason we never missed a step to take care of our residents and to make sure that any homebound seniors were not forgotten and never went without any food. Precinct 2 Together during the pandemic helped us to distribute over 4 tons of food to the community. And then it also helps us ensure that we're able to touch areas for children that may need an opportunity to go on a field trip or a camping trip, and making sure that our neighborhood residents in Precinct 2 have the opportunity to have these kinds of experiences. And then just recently, we just distributed about, I think it was 1,000 turkeys in Pasadena with the help of Councilmember Ornaldo Ibarra. And so Precinct 2 Together in so many ways touches the lives of so many families. During Beryl, Precinct 2 Together helped us raise resources, because as a county commissioner, I can't take trees out of people's homes or off their property. But Precinct 2 Together was able to fund some operations that helped us give people some improvement in their circumstances after Hurricane Beryl, and were able to send teams into those private property homes of senior citizens and get those trees and limbs out of their driveways and off their roofs. And so it was incredible. And then the same thing during Winter Storm Uri. Mm-hmm. People's pipes were frozen, senior citizens' pipes were frozen, and Precinct 2 Together helped us provide plumbers and other folks so that they can go patch up. We weren't able to, do the wholesale remodeling of their homes, unfortunately, but the bottom line is, we were able to get their water flowing and get their homes back in a functional way so that they can continue to live in them. So again, thank you, because you're one of the members of the board, and to others, I just appreciate everything they do to help us make sure that we're taking care of the business as usual, but also the community that makes Precinct 2 so special.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful example of kind of the heart for the precinct, and the human side, and what we can do when we're all working together. It's a great organization, one that I'm really proud of. And you as a leader pump life into that because you care about it, right? And so the nonprofit and the staff and everybody that's involved falls in line and does great work because of the leadership. So I just want to tell you, thank you for that. It's fantastic. So let's move on to one of my favorite projects to talk about in the future is Sylvan Beach. Give us a little update on your Sylvan Beach plans coming up.
Well, I'm so excited. Sylvan Beach has been a part of my early memories of Precinct 2. When I was a young kid, I went to many a birthday party and
Mhm.
graduations at Sylvan Beach, and just have fond memories of those days. It was just exciting. I feel like I was driving across the country when I went from Houston's north side to Sylvan Beach. And so now I have the opportunity and the blessing to be able to give back to the LaPorte community. And so we're working with the mayor and members of council and the public to lay out the vision that we have for Sylvan Beach. And I can't wait for us to start investing approximately $35 million that will just give Sylvan Beach a whole new profile for the public. It'll have an amphitheater. It'll have state-of-the-art playground facilities. We're working to improve the boardwalk and the pier.
Mhm.
So very excited. I want to make sure that Sylvan Beach remains not only the destination that it is today, but that it makes a new impact on the public, and that it brings so many people that it now brings economic development opportunities to the Port community. So I'm very excited about this,
Yeah.
and I can't wait for us to break ground and get going.
Look, I am a huge quality of life guy, and when we have assets like Sylvan Beach that we can upgrade and really step into and rethink and reimagine what they can be. I mean, on a very personal level, I am a citizen of LaPorte. Sylvan Beach is kind of down the road from me. I love investing in quality of life projects, and this is going to be a game changer
It
for that area. And LaPorte,
is.
will now have an asset that not only its citizens can enjoy, but like you said, this will bring people from all over Harris County to LaPorte to enjoy that asset and eat in those restaurants and spend their money in those shops. They've already got a great Main Street going on, which is kind of right around the corner from that. So it warms my heart to see investment in local communities and quality of life, and this is another perfect example of that. So kudos to you and the team for making that happen, and that partnership with the city of LaPorte is fantastic. um, all right, moving on, let me see. Well, before, Armand Bayou. Armand Bayou,
Yeah.
tell me about this latest kind of purchase donation grant that you were able to do, and now what's going on with Armand Bayou, because this is really exciting.
It is, Chad. And first, I want to thank you and other members and partners in the industry because, coming in here, I want, as I mentioned earlier, I want to make sure that our industry knows that they have a friend in Commissioner Garcia, and ensuring that we not only take care of industry, but also the communities in the industry area.
Absolutely.
And this is one way that ExxonMobil has allowed us to partner with them. We were able to acquire approximately 1,100 new acres of natural flood mitigation territory.
Mm-hmm.
And this will now make Armand Bayou about 4,000 acres big. And it will also make us one of the largest natural urban preserves in North America. And so, but I
Go
will
ahead.
tell you what is unique about us. Dallas, unfortunately, is a little ahead of us, but Dallas uh, didn't doesn't have the challenges that we have. We have flooding and we're at the in the Bay Area, so we have storm surge challenges. So Dallas just acquired land and just made a bigger land preserve. We, though, have combined not only preserving these important wetlands, but also we're giving the public a mutual benefit by
Yep.
virtue of making sure that that becomes a flood mitigation system as well. And
Yeah.
so very proud of it. I want to thank Tim Pilot and the members of the Armand Bayou board
Mm-hmm.
for their support and their collaboration. Kristen Lee in my office was at the
Yep.
tip of the spear. working out those negotiations. So many other people involved, but I'm so proud that Armand Bayou is in precinct 2, and so proud that we've been able to give our Armand Bayou a new dimension that will also make it a tourist destination without any.
Exactly. It's a wonderful, it's another example of a wonderful asset right in the middle of our towns and literally the middle of precinct 2 in our industry. And you mentioned this, but I don't know if a lot of people know, but Armand Bayou is a natural flood mitigation ecosystem.
Yep.
And by capturing another 1,200 acres, 1,200 acres to ensure that maintains its capabilities as water flows from north to south through precinct 2, as we know, and hits Armand Bayou, it is a natural flood mitigation basin and ecosystem that eventually carries that water out to the bay. And then when you couple that with the just amazing nature center and tourism facility, whether it's wildlife or walking trails. I mean, it is one of my favorite places. It's right around the corner from everybody here in precinct 2. Not enough people know about it because it's just kind of hidden, but what a phenomenal place. And for your help in that process to help capture an additional 1,000+ acres to kind of secure that for generations to come, not only helps with our flood mitigation, but just quality of life and nature assets that we have right there. I love it. I appreciate that.
I tell you, folks need to go and visit it, as you mentioned, and really understand what we have out there. You will really appreciate doing the
pontoon boats. Yes,
the pontoon boat ride with an electric engine, which gives you a very silent stealth entry into that wildlife area. You'll see alligators, you'll see all kinds of birds. It's just incredible. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great asset that we have. And I encourage everybody to go out and take advantage of it and enjoy it and support it because it's a great organization. All right. Moving on. Let's look forward now. Plans for 2025. You want to touch on anything? Give us a sneak peek into 2025?
Yeah, I will tell you that, first of all, I want to make sure, as we were touching on the Beltway A Bridge, let's get it done. And so we're hopeful that by the end of 2025, the southbound side will be completed, and then we'll be able to start on the northbound side. But already it is taking shape. It is becoming as gorgeous as we first envisioned, and safer, absolutely. So I'm excited to see that moving along, making great progress. I want to thank Roberto Trevino and the Harris County Harris County Toll Road Authority, and thank him for his leadership in seeing that project move along and getting it done. It's actually on a much shorter timeline, even though we're anxious for it. It's actually on a much shorter timeline when he redesigned and re-engineered the process for it. So it's moving along, excited for it. So that's going to be an exciting event that we'll have in 2025, and can't wait for it to happen. And then, I want to make sure that we continue to pay attention to our local businesses. I want to make sure that we're finding ways to support our area businesses. And that's why I'm so proud of our workforce development, our our Precinct 2 Hire Up program. We're providing micro certificates so that people can be eligible for better paying jobs and help to lift up the median income in Precinct 2. And so and then back to infrastructure. Not only will Sylvan Beach be one of the parks that we're going to be investing a ton of money in, but we're also looking forward to seeing Veterans Memorial Park become a respectful and honorable place for our veterans. to call their own and be just a unique park for them. So we're working on that, and then we're also going to be making sure that our roadways stay strong. We're going to continue to focus on the flood control district and make sure that our flood mitigation efforts are working so that we can weather any storm that comes our way.
Very good, very good. It's a great conversation to have with you, Commissioner. It's for all of our listeners and members in the Houston Port Region Precinct 2. It's good for them to see the what I would just describe as the balance between the heart for our people and the heart for our economy and what we can provide. And it's a great balance that you bring to the table. It's what we should be doing, right? And you're doing a great job. And you know, from the Economic Alliance, we could not ask for more from a commissioner. You've just been a great partner, and we continue to just turf up projects after projects, being able to work together. So just want to say thank you. Want to say, happy Thanksgiving. Let's have a great holiday season. And then I'm really looking forward to 2025 and all the great things that we've got. Appreciate you taking some time for us here on the Gulf Coast Growth Show. I know we've both got places we got to get to, but I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do, and thanks for your leadership.
It's my honor, Chad, and thank you for your partnership. I can't do it alone, and I'm proud to be working alongside you.
All right, that'll wrap us up today for our special edition with Commissioner Adrian Garcia for the Gulf Coast Growth Show. We want to say thank you, and we will see everybody soon again with our next episode. Thank you again.
Thank you, Chad.